Stimulus relief program has been announced and created by lawmakers. This new program will send out payments worth up to $500 to low-income families. Americans that are experiencing difficulties paying rent right now or utilities may be also eligible to receive additional aid. I have some good news, everybody. A new crisis relief program approved by lawmakers would send $500 payments to lower-income families in one state, as Americans battle a surge in living costs. The plan is part of a record $50.6 billion budget that passed in the Democrat-controlled New Jersey state legislature and was set at Democratic Governor's Phil Murphy's desk this week. The plan currently includes a rebate for renters, with those making up to $150,000 a year getting $450 in assistance. The Democratic Senator Paul Sarlo said during a speech on the floor this week, the budget's provision will make the lives of the people of New Jersey more affordable with substantial property tax relief for homeowners and renters. According to the Associated Press, the legislation would create the New Jersey Child Tax Credit Program, giving a refundable $500 tax credit for each child under the age of 6 for families earning up to $30,000 a year. The tax credit would amount and be reduced by $10 for every $1,000 of taxable income that exceeds $30,000 until it reaches $80,000, and that is also with a minimum of $300 per child for a household earning up to $80,000 a year. Analysts have stated that the program will have an estimated annual price tag of up to $156 million. Taxpayers can claim the tax credit for about 374,000 children under 6 in 2022. Also, at least 180,000 children will be eligible for the full $500, while nearly 100,000 could get a credit of at least $300. There is also another provision in the budget. It's a property tax credit for homeowners. Almost 900,000 families that make up to $150,000 will get direct relief of $150,000, while others will get $300. $1,000 in credits. Another relief provision is the budget is a property tax credit for homeowners. Almost 900,000 families that make up to $150,000 will get direct relief of $1,500, while others will get $1,000 in credits. But New Jersey Republicans have criticized the legislation because the child tax credit is not being offered for children over 6 and said it would not reach families until the 2024 tax season. Inflation driving costs up significantly can be a serious problem for individuals in need. The federal government helps these families out through a program called the SNAP program, through which people get funds on an electronic benefits transfer card to pay for various food, drinks, and food-producing plants and seeds. The good news is that many more online stores have begun to accept EBT for groceries. Many grocery stores that have an online counterpart that sell food and drink will accept an electronic benefit transfer card. According to experts, many Americans have been missing payments due to the rising cost of living and inflation. Being late on an auto loan payment by a few days or weeks may result in a late.
Good morning, everyone. Before I speak to the Supreme Court extreme decision overturning Roe, I want to comment on one piece of good news, economic good news today. Today, the Labor Department reported that we added 372,000 jobs last month. 372,000. Here's why it's important. Our private sector has now recovered all of the jobs lost during the pandemic and added jobs on top of that. We have more Americans working today in the private sector than any day under my predecessor, more today than any time in American history. Today. In the second quarter of this year, we created more jobs than any quarter under any of my predecessors in nearly 40 years before the pandemic. Think about that. At a time when our critics said the economy was too weak or having already added more jobs, we had already added more jobs my first year as president of any president in history. We still added more jobs in the past 3 months than any administration in nearly 40 years. Now look, I know times are tough. Prices are too high. Families are facing the cost of living crunch. But today's economic news confirms the fact that my economic plan is moving this country in a better direction. The unemployment rate is near a historic low of 3.6%. Private sector jobs are at a record high. Gas prices, still way too high, have fallen now 25 days in a row. And this week we saw the second largest single day decrease in gas prices in a decade. We still have a lot of work to do. I'm not suggesting there's a lot more work to do, but I am suggesting we're making significant progress. The program is working. Now, with the Vice President, Secretary Becerra, and Deputy Attorney General Monaco, I want to talk about an executive order I'm signing to protect reproductive rights of women in the aftermath of the Supreme Court's terrible, extreme, and I think so totally wrong-headed decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. In both formalized actions I announced right after the decision, as well as adding new measures today. Let's be clear about something from the very start. This was not a decision driven by the Constitution. Let me say it again. This was not a decision driven by the Constitution. And despite what those justices in the majority said, this was not a decision driven by history. You've all probably had a chance to read the decisions and the dissent. The majority rattles off laws from the 19th century to support the idea that Roe was a historic anomaly because states outlawed abortion in the 1880s toward the end. But that's just wrong. The truth is, today's Supreme Court majority that is playing fast and loose with the facts. Even 150 years ago, the common law and many state laws did not criminalize abortion early in pregnancy, which is very similar to the viability line drawn by Roe. But the Dobbs majority ignores that fact. And the Dobbs majority ignores that many laws are enacted to protect women at the time when they were dying from unsafe abortions. This is the horrific reality that Roe sought to end. The practice of medicine should not be frozen in the 19th century. So what happened? The dissenting opinion says as clear as you can possibly say it. And here's the quote. Neither law nor facts nor attitudes have provided any new reason to reach a different result than Roe and Casey did. And all that's changed is this court, end of quote. All that's changed is this court. That wasn't about the Constitution or the law. It was about a deep, long-seating antipathy toward Roe and the broader right to privacy. As the justices wrote in their dissent, and I quote, "The majority has overruled Roe and Casey for one and only one reason, because it has always despised them, and now it has the votes to discard them," end of quote. So what we're witnessing wasn't a constitutional judgment. It was an exercise in raw political power. On the day the Dobbs decision came down, I immediately announced what I would do, but I also made it clear, based on the reasoning of the court, there is no constitutional right to choose. The only way to fulfill and restore that right for women in this country is by voting, by exercising the power at the ballot box. Let me explain. We need 2 additional pro-choice senators and a pro-choice House to codify Roe as federal law. Your vote can make that a reality. I know it's frustrating, and it made a lot of people